Connect and collaborate today as we're wrapping up our focus on manufacturing. We're talking today with Tim Heaton, president of CAMA, and with Jessica Wilbur of Reata Engineering. And we're talking to some degree about sales, really keeping that the sales and the business going so that you can accommodate the workforce that we're demanding right now.
Exactly. And I'm kind of looking at Jessica here because I'm gonna push her to give up some of her great secrets. Rule of thumb, or I'll just, we're at the summit that we talked about earlier, Jessica will be one of our presenters next week. I think the title for your presentation is Seven Secrets to Becoming the MacGyver of Sales.
Correct.
So Jessica is, as I said at the onset, the guru of sales in my mind. For such a young woman that I could needle that one a little harder, but
oh yeah, she just did her own little mic drop in the break, so we've got to get back.
A little bit on the age thing.
Yeah.
Here,
but, shout out.
Anyhow, one of the reasons that Darren and I at CAMA are so excited about having her on the panel is because she is very creative when it comes to sales, and I think that's the key when you think about creating business. I mean, again, I won't mention any names, but I could tell you there are some companies in Colorado that still have Rolodexes, and they're still trying to do business by dialing with a Rolodex.
The smile and dial.
Exactly, and I think looking at this young salesperson sitting next to me, the industry has changed. And there are a lot of new tools, and I want to talk about a couple of them, but I'm just not going to let you off the hook after you did that mic drop. So,
oh man, got myself in trouble.
Yeah, share a couple of your, and if you don't share the one, I'll make sure you do. So,
okay, well, we'll start off with the one.
Okay.
So, I used to live in North Carolina. Currently in Colorado now. North Carolina, I used to sell power transmission products. So everything from bearings to reducers, motors, and all of that good stuff. And I was outside sales. I even drove a pickup truck.
All right.
If
you're going to be selling transmissions,
exactly.
What are you going to do? Come on there in a Prius?
Amen to that. So, my rule of thumb being an outside salesperson was if there's a smokestack, you don't pass it. You stop in, you do your sales pitch, you see if you can get in the front door. Well, one day I saw a smokestack, and it was a manufacturer of it was a cough drop manufacturer, and they also did lozenges, lollipops, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But it was predominantly for the medical type of industry, things that you would issue to children.
Okay.
And it's called Best Sweets, I think, is the name of the manufacturing plant in North Carolina. So I didn't drive past it. I pulled into the parking lot. I went in. Of course, the guard dog, they have the whole nine, they have a big fences, top security, all this, because it's medical, right? So normal, if you go to a byproduct plant, I'm pretty sure you could just walk in right at the side of the plant. Ain't nobody going to care who's going to walk into a byproduct plant. They do have those in North Carolina also.
All right.
So I walked in, the lady was like, we don't, I'm
we
happy
don't
to
take solicitors?
Basically, I'm happy to take your information. So I give her the information, then I walk back out to the car. Of course, I know it probably ended up in the trash can.
Right.
But I did at least get a name in which I needed to speak with. So then I went back out to my truck, and I looked in the rearview mirror, and, lo and behold, I saw some people. And their, mocks and their hair nets and all this stuff, earplugs, but they weren't very, very near the plant. They were actually like 100 yards from the plant.
Oh.
Well, then I saw them just sitting there, and I'm like, well, what is that over there? Because I don't partake in this festivity, but it ended up being the smoking table.
Okay.
Well, in most manufacturing plants, you have to be 100 or 150 yards away from the plant to participate in your break.
Okay.
So I was like, well, most smokers do it socially, and they just want to talk. So I walked over to that table, and I sat my butt down. And I passed out pamphlets, and I said, I am Jessica. And I work for so-and-so company, and I feel like I can do business with you, and I can help you guys get more product out the door. And I need to talk to so-and-so. And they were like, well, so-and-so does the same thing that we're doing now, but his is like in 10 minutes. Well, I waited 10 minutes, and I talked to who I needed to talk to. And ever since then, I got the business from that company.
Huh.
And that just kind of was, if you have to think outside the box, And you also have to
Right, because the front door is not necessarily always the place.
Exactly. There has been some instances where I've made phone calls, because you don't always get a chance to be, outside when you're just a salesperson. I'm inside. Currently, I'm inside. I'm outside. I'm whatever I need to be as far as sales goes.
Okay.
I travel, all of that. So making phone calls is really convenient, especially when you're driving. If you have a 3-hour drive, you don't just 3-hour drive. You make phone calls if you're an active salesperson. So making phone calls, you get to the guard dog.
Oh, you're the people out there on your phones.
Yes.
I'm teasing.
Hands-free, right? Hands-free,
Hands-free, I know.
Hold, please. And then you just get sent to voicemail. Well, there's instances where you call in and the guard dog's like, oh, that person is not in. That person's on the other line. Well, then you just call back and you ask for the HR department. And you say, hey, I just need to, I think I might have gotten transferred. I'm looking for Tom. I got transferred to the wrong line. And, HR always wants to help. They send you to Tom. That's what they're there for.
You do have to sneak.
You kind of just have to work with it. And then once the guard dog knows that you are an active member within their company, helping their company, adding value, making changes, saving them money, they're going to be more prone to letting you through the door and continuing that business. And it'll be an easier transaction once the inside knows that, everything's good type of thing.
I think you just hit on a key thing, though, again, to the changing marketplace that's out there. We've come out of a world where we always just sold a solution. Yeah. My product. It's the answer you need.
Right.
And then you had to sell against your competitor's product. The companies, again, that are moving forward and growing are less focused on selling a product, and they're really becoming focused on selling their expertise.
Got it.
So we're not here just for our widget. We're here to help you solve a problem. Because I don't care what training class you take, at the end of the day, it's about solving your customer's problem. Because at the end of their day, all that's in it for them is that the infamous question, what's in it for me? So if you can offer up expertise and become a part of the family,
correct.
That is really how we're seeing this driving sales in the new world of manufacturing.
So my goal is just how I reference to my vendor. So my vendor, I buy from them. I consider them a colleague.
Okay.
I want my customers to consider me a colleague. I want them to know that I work with them. I don't work for them. We're hand in hand and we're going to find solutions together and we're going to do business together.
So your approach isn't so much, I need to sell this product to you.
Correct.
It's how are we going to build both of our boats?
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm going to add another, and I can't believe I just keep laying on the compliments here, but another reason.
Keep them coming.
You're recording this to play for your boss, right?
Podcast.
Absolutely.
But another reason that Jessica is so good at this is it's, again, it's not just her.
Right.
So you've got to look in her arsenal on her team. Who else can help make that sale? Maybe you have a product engineer in your company that can really go out there and help solve a problem. Is it an engineer? Is it a product engineer? Is it who else? We think about sales in a very narrow channel, but at the end of the day, everybody's role in a company is sales.
Yeah.
And I know you use the various people inside the Reata team.
I do.
To be a part of that.
I don't know everything. And I'm not going to try to know everything. I'm going to educate myself enough. But at the end of the day, I want my customers to be comfortable with talking to whoever within the organization.
I like that approach a lot, that it's not just the sales team. It's the people who know the product. And I kind of my position a lot of times, it's the people who are doing the work, who are making the product, who know how it works, how it operates. They're the ones who can answer the questions for the people who have the questions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So sales, like you said, you educate yourself as much as possible, but there's some questions you may not be able to answer. So I really like that approach of let me get you the guy or the woman.
Yep.
And there's a lot more these days.
Exactly.
Where it's the woman.
I use guy as a term. We'll be right back with more manufacturing here in Colorado. Stay with us on Connect and Collaborate.